Obviously, with no Carlos Alcaraz in the draw, all eyes are on Jannik Sinner. Prakash, is it a foregone conclusion that he'll win this tournament, or is there people that are going to challenge him? What do you make of it all?
I don't believe it's a foregone conclusion. Quite frankly, I'm surprised he chose to play here. Given the win streak he's on, the three 1,000s in a row, he definitely has to play Rome because that's such a big event for him. And leading into RG, he ends up doing well here. Backed by Rome, that's a lot going into RG. So I'm curious to see how it pans out here. Crazy upsets can happen in the altitude. Someone lights it up with the serve, but he's still the massive favorite to be able to win it. Maybe not by 55 million miles, but slightly less.
Interesting take on why he would choose to play here. Curious what you guys think.
That is a great question, and I'm curious what you all think. Surprised that he chose to play Madrid?
No, I'm not. Look, I think, yes, if let's say he wins this, there's a little pressure to play in Rome, but not that much pressure because he has the year-end championships in Rome. Last year, the Davis Cup is in Rome, or excuse me, is in Italy. He has other opportunities throughout the year to play in Italy. It's not like there's one Master Series only. And for that reason, I think if he wins here and is healthy, I actually don't think he plays Rome.
Interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting take because I think he absolutely plays Rome. I think if we're going to go into the betting mindset of the field versus Sinner, it's hard to pick the field, but I would pick the field, mainly because of that winning streak that he's on. There is a possibility that he does not finish this tournament. There's a possibility that maybe he pulls out because I think he plays Rome. I don't think he pulls out of Rome.
Well, you think he's hurt right now or what?
No, I just think he's tired or doesn't
And like
finish.
Before the match tomorrow, he's just going to be like, nah, I'm good?
Not tomorrow, but
just
maybe
at some point.
At some point.
Before the fourth round, be like, you know what? I've had enough of Madrid.
I think that's a possibility. I don't think that's foregone.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So Coco says it's hard to pick the field, yet she picked the field. What do you think?
I will never not pick Sinner and Alcaraz if they're in a draw. I've made that promise to myself, so Sinner.
Okay, you've made
if
that
both of them are in the
promise.
draw, I pick one or the other. If it's one of them in the draw, I'm picking that one.
They've proven that to be...
Exactly. You'd be a fool not to pick them.
I want to see what the odds are of the money for field versus Sinner. I would like to see that, just to see. But I think for the degenerate bettors out there, which I can not in tennis, but maybe something else. I go to the horse track every once in a while in Del Mar.
Yeah.
I go to opening day. I'm there.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm still. You think he might pull out of Madrid?
I just think that there's more of a possibility that he pulls out of Madrid more than Rome. I think Rome just is something that is special for all the Italian players. You see how many of these Italian players rise to the occasion and have the opportunity to play there. He's going to do it, especially since last year he didn't play anything before Rome, and so Rome was when we first got to see him play.
I think he plays all of them. I think he plays Madrid, he plays Rome, and then he plays Roland Garros.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard.
Like, only one of us.
You say that, Steve, but it is that hard.
Let's bring Rafa back into it. That's what he used to do, and he won them all.
Only one of us can be right, right? Only one of us can be right, so we can.
The only thing is, to your Rafa argument, these weren't 2-week events.
Okay.
So different, you're right.
It's very different to play for a month and then have Roland Garros.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point. I still think he plays them all. I don't know if he wins them all, but he plays them all.
I hope he plays them all. I'm just saying, I don't think he does.
You don't think he plays?
I think it almost serves into
You think he pulls out of Madrid? I think he plays them all and maybe wins them all.
I think it very much serves the argument of why are we having these 2-week events back-to-back leading into a French Roland Garros.
We wouldn't even have this discussion when they were 1-week events,
no,
right?
he would have played them all.
Maybe not going to play one? No, they're 1 week. But now because it's a month long, you have to have this discussion.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.